Welcome back. For Allison, Brittany, and Kimberly, their visits to the emergency department brought the good news of a condition that was not as bad as they initially feared. But denial letters from Anthem, their insurance provider, added a new challenge and added many questions to their situation. All three were shocked when they got letters from Anthem.
I was discharged, that day after 3 bouts of pain medicine through my IV. Finally, pain was at a manageable level. They sent me home. I didn't think much of it. And then a few weeks later, I got a denial letter from Anthem essentially stating that since it wasn't a stroke, a heart attack, or internal bleeding, it was not an emergency. They would not be covering my $12,000 ER bill. Stated that to a layperson, even that it would seem that it was not a medical emergency and that I should have sought care elsewhere.
Got a bill from the hospital and a letter from Anthem saying that they had rejected my claim and that I should not have sought the emergency room and that I should have visited my local practitioner. The original bill was over $4,000.
The letter said that the symptoms that I had were not considered an emergency room, and I should have gone to my primary care physician.
Oh, I was furious. I work in Medicaid, so I deal a little bit with coding and billing and all that. Not a whole lot. That's not my primary job, but I'm also, educated. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I don't consider myself to be stupid or uninformed or uneducated in any sense of the word. But as a layperson and not as a medical person, I felt the need that I needed, emergency care. And you put your symptoms in a WebMD, they say go to the ER. Called my mother, she said go to the ER. I felt like I was doing the right thing, and I felt like I was about to die. So I went to the ER, and then it was just completely a slap in the face that, for someone who doesn't abuse services, who doesn't abuse my insurance, but uses it when I need it, that it wasn't going to be covered. But it is really insulting to not have my insurance cover any of it. I mean, that's why I pay for health insurance, is to have medical bills covered.
If you knew what you were having, maybe I would have stayed at home and just ridden out the pain, but at the time, it was actually really scary. The pain was so bad, I was afraid I was going to pass out at home by myself with 2 little kids. So it wasn't a decision lightly to go to the emergency room. I mean, my husband rushed home from work. We had to get childcare for our kids, all super fast, to go to seek treatment. So it does make me really nervous because I feel like I'm a reasonable person who made a decision to seek care, and then to get a letter like that is really frustrating. I was very concerned, my husband was very concerned, and we felt like we needed to go there. And also, once I got there, the doctor there, he definitely made me feel like I should have come. He explained what some of the complications could be, and so we needed to make sure none of those things were happening. And they rejected it really fast. And they said they rejected it before they even had the records. So why not ask for the records before you just jump to rejecting it? I've since researched quite a bit, and I think that their wording is something about a layperson of reasonable knowledge. If they think it's an emergency, then it's covered. It's also frustrating because, I pay my premium on time every month, which is very considerable. And for them to just say that they have a list of medical complications that they're not going to pay for, which one was an ovarian cyst, is really frustrating considering that it could have led to complications. Fortunately, it didn't. But I just, if I had known what it was and that it would be okay, I wouldn't have needed to go to the emergency room. But I'm not a doctor, so I sought medical treatment.
Well, my primary care physician is not open at 4 o'clock in the morning. So actually the emergency room was the only place I could have gone to get help, especially with me thinking, I think I'm going to have a stroke. The headache was so intense, the blood pressure was so high that, if I thought I could have waited any longer, I would have, but I couldn't. 54 white female, I have heard of women my age having strokes with high blood pressure. So I was scared, and I have not been to the emergency room in probably 4 years. So, I got very frustrated. Went back and got my medical records, submitted those to Anthem. They still were denying the claim. They told me I needed to file an appeal. So my husband went online to file an appeal, and they only give you 31 characters to file an appeal online. So we had to write a letter, and we submitted the letter, and they denied it. So now I'm appealing it for the second time. Because I did try to think of, okay, well, I have a headache, so I took, the ibuprofen, put cold compresses on my head, thinking, it's maybe just going to be a migraine or something.
You can get through this.
I can get through this. But when it progressively got worse and the blood pressure kept elevating, at that point I knew that I was in trouble and that I needed to seek medical attention. It was something I could no longer, do anything about. It says emergency room visit, $250 copay. It doesn't say I have to be referred to the ER.
So,
I should never have to be referred to the ER. If I think I'm having a stroke, even though I don't know that it's a stroke, I shouldn't have to be referred. Why should I have? That's wasting time, especially if you think you're having a stroke. Isn't that time sensitive? I mean, that's something that needs to be addressed immediately.
Coming up, we talk with Allison, Brittany, and Kimberly about how this program may impact others and how the true cost may be in lives. More StantonMD coming up. Stay with us.